Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to read a letter from a former Chrysler dealer in my district. Dear Congressman, I'd like to thank you for co-sponsoring H.R. 2743, the Automobile Dealers Economic Rights Restoration Act of 2009, and H.R. 3179, the Financial Services and Government Appropriations Act for fiscal year 2010. The letter I received from you, dated August 7, 2009, was appreciated. H.R. 3288 bill has no doubt done a great deal of good for a lot of GM and Chrysler dealers. However, the bill did not address the dealerships that lost everything and has no possible way of going back into business. When Chrysler informed me on May 14, 2009 that my franchise was going to be terminated effective at the close of business on June 9, 2009, I had 263 new Chrysler vehicles in inventory and 412,000 of Chrysler parts. In their letter, they stated, we intend to maintain, quote unquote, business as usual, and after rejection, we want to work with you to assist in the redistribution of new vehicles and parts to ease the burden on you. They did nothing except lie to Congress. Chrysler went out of their way to make sure I could not stay in business. The week of May 18th, they sent letters to all my customers informing them that it could not be a Chrysler dealer as of June 10, 2009, and they need service work to take their vehicles to another dealership. At that time, I was terminated. My dealership was in the top 5% of sales. My customer satisfaction was one of the highest Chrysler had. In 2006, my parts and service managers both were awarded Chrysler Manager of the Year, and I was runner-up for Dealer of the Year. I could not believe I was being terminated. When I tried to call and inquire as to why I was terminated, no one would answer my call. To this day, no one has explained why I lost my franchise. By the close of business on June 9th, the dealership had sold all but 186 vehicles at retail and reduced the parts inventory to $352,000. When I called Chrysler about what I should do with the leftover new vehicles, I was told that they had other issues to deal with and would get back to me in a few months. They also stated that I could not retain the vehicles as new, and the vehicles would not qualify for any of the factory rebates or factory warranty. I was forced to sell all of the 186 vehicles to other Chrysler dealers at $3,000 to $4,000 loss per vehicle, which amounted to a loss of $700,000 of cash. When I tried to sell my Chrysler parts to other dealers, they received phone calls and were told if they need parts to call Chrysler, not Dave Croft Motors. And Madam Speaker, this is just the first page of 3 that I'm submitting for the record, which talks about really the theft of personal property in the government bailouts of automobile companies. This is individual family business that has existed for decades that was destroyed, abused, and left with nothing. He ends with, I will keep telling my story to anyone who will listen. I hope that some kind of law will be put in place so this cannot happen to another business in the future. I still have to tell myself that I live in America and not in China. What he has experienced is the government intervention and taking over of personal, private wealth in this country. And it's an indication of the sad direction this country has taken when it thwarts the capitalist model of raising capital, taking a risk, and either benefiting from that risk or losing everything. When we get involved in bailing out Wall Street banks and then we don't bail out small Main Street businesses, what we have here is a discrepancy. If we would allow the market to work, it's not compassionate, it's not it's very, very tough, but it is the best way to turn around the economy. Small business around this country will continue to get rolled over by big business and big government. And with that, I ask unanimous consent to submit the entire letter for the record, and I yield back my time.
Without objection.